So Jason had said that he looked at big cats as a template for the role. Did you look at any animals or persons as a template for your character?
That's funny. I had no idea Jason said that, and I can completely understand how he would relate big cats, lions or tigers, to being his physicality in it. I actually, this is so funny, I had no idea he said that. I thought of snakes. Because Marique has these claws and she's kind of mesmerizing, which is what snakes do to their prey. That's funny.
Was it the temperament of a snake as well, a little bit?
A bit, like obviously a bit vicious, but just really just more like that she just hypnotized people with whatever she had, which were these kind of claws. I loved my wardrobe, I loved the whole thing.
How much fun is it to just be the out-and-out villain?
I have to say, it's a blast to be the out-and-out villain. It is, I mean, I've played the good guy many times, I was also a witch in a show called Charmed, and I'm half sorceress in this. And I have to say, I mean, they're both fun, but to be over the top, it's like the difference between, I guess, like 1 violin and 10 violins, going off at the same time. And it's just like kind of really grandiose, and you don't get to do that often, especially as a girl.
Well, yeah, this was a character that was originally written for a male, and then I'd heard you talk about it. I mean, did you talk to Stephen Lang about the family history, or no, you just sort of went in there, or the Electra moment, the awkward Electra moment?
Why was that awkward?
No, it was amazing.
No, it's funny. I think we're both really instinctual actors. I kind of either really get something or I can't play it. If I don't get it, I just don't click with this. And I'm not, somebody that like writes a whole history for the character, this and that. I just kind of instinctively fall into the skin, or not. And if I can't seem to do that, then I try not to do that project. And he and I just kind of fell into each other's skin and into our relationship very well.
I'd heard you compare doing a villain to doing broad comedy, which I thought was really interesting. Can you talk about that a little bit? How are they similar?
Well, I think playing a villain has some really comedic beats. When you do broad comedy, it's also a bit over the top. Not in a way that's annoying, like, maybe a bad actor over the top and just like, but in a way that you are not constrained. If you go see a broad comedy, they can kind of, do whatever they want in it. They can have any kind of physicality. They can, and the beats, it's really the same line deliveries in a lot of ways. You're setting stuff up without thinking about it too much. I didn't realize it until I did the movie, and when they would say cut and I would start laughing, and then I was like, wait a second. And other people would start laughing too. Not in a way that this is, it was just kind of absurdly delicious. And when I realized like a lot of the crew would laugh too, it was because it was so enjoyable. To me, it was, I'm doing the same thing as when I do a comedy.
Well, she is a really big character, and you had said that Jason was out carousing and living hard and working hard like a barbarian, but 6 hours in the makeup chair. Did you get to do any of that?
Well, it's funny, on every movie I've ever done, if the actors, and I get along well with everybody. And I adored Jason, and I adored Stephen Lang. We had a blast. But there's just something about me. I never get invited out for the nights out. And I've won because on this one, very specifically, I was up at 2 a.m. and they, compared to me, had slightly later calls and didn't have to go through as much, the physical transformation. So me, it's just like kind of hanging on for dear life with 3 hours of sleep. But it's, I don't know, I'm not, I like to be in the world that I'm in. Of course, Bulgaria was kind of that world, honestly, for Jason. But I like to kind of shut off the rest of the world when I'm doing a role and not be involved in it. I don't see my friends. I don't really talk to people. I just kind of disappear. Okay. And no, it's a little lonely. So you're like, wait, when you come back, you're like, I have no friends. And you have to start the whole thing over again, start the relationship back. But it is fun just, I'm now in this bizarro world. It's too hard to explain. Oh, hey, hi, what are you doing? I don't know, I have a huge forehead and this crazy outfit, and so I just don't bother. I just live in that world. But I'm also not somebody that is like gonna go, I've just never had that temperament where I can like party all night and like show up at work the next morning. It's just not. I mean, Jason was very much in a character thing, Marique is much more controlled.
Well, I absolutely understand that. I can't party all night and then work either.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I've never
It's so
been
good
that
to
way.